I know a lot of people are going to be talking about that Karate Kid crane kick goal. Beautiful goal, but for me, it was his overall performance. What is happening, people? Welcome to Gooner Down Under TV, and today's all about Arsenal beating Burnley 3-1. We're going to look at this man, try and see some different roles he can maybe play in this team, and just, talk about the season so far, talk about what's to come, sort of a few player performances, all that good stuff. Had to record this one a little bit later than usual, so it is after Chelsea drew to Man City. Beautiful performance by Chelsea, doing exactly what we need. Now we're only 1 point behind first. And, can't believe we wanted Chelsea to win 2 games in a row. They did us a favour against Tottenham, getting all 3 points there and letting Man City drop 2 today. So, now we're done supporting them. Hopefully they go back to their banter team thing and we can just be done with them. If it's your first time on the channel though, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. You can stay tuned for all the new content coming your way. And if you're a return and sub, as always, much love. Before we get into it, try and leave a comment as well. What do you think of the game? Who do you think the man of the match performance was? You think I'm talking rubbish about what I'm saying? Do you think I'm spitting absolute facts? Let me know all of that down below. Now, only one place to start for me. Alexander Zinchenko. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about that Karate Kid crane kick goal. Beautiful goal, but for me, it was his overall performance. I think it was around that 30th minute. I had to jot down on my phone to talk about Zinchenko because it was 3 a.m. around that time in Australia. The eyes were getting faded. I need to make sure I was remembering things. Ended up, not going to lie, ended up falling asleep. Had to rewatch it when I woke up. Just was not having it. It was too late. Doesn't always happen, sometimes crashed, and I did. Don't know why I admitted that, but I did, so we moved. But on Zinchenko, rants aside, his performance, definitely his best of the season. And, I think one thing we need to think about is he didn't get any minutes in pre-season due to that injury. Took a few games to even get back into the fold. And so I think we're going to start seeing the best of Zinchenko again soon. Even Declan Rice, you remember he joined us in pre-season a little bit later. He wasn't his best for a while as well. Definitely needed that time to get his legs under him. It's hard, especially pre-season's a time where you can, incrementally add those minutes, get back and peak for that season. Zinchenko wasn't able to do that. He hasn't looked his best, but against Burnley, definitely looking better. I know a lot of people are going to say it's just Burnley, this and that. You got to beat who's in front of you. And it's more so his just control ability on the ball. Now, I'm not saying he's David Silva by any means. So before you think I said that, I didn't. But I think his ability to sort of dictate a game, his ease on the ball, make it look easy, is very David Silva-esque. Not saying he's David Silva, just David Silva-esque. He just makes the game look easy. His ability to put a pinpoint cross, deliver through balls. I just think he's, bar maybe Odegaard, the best technician in our team. And that's why I want to pose this question. Should he play centre mid? No one has sort of grabbed that position and claimed it. Havertz had some decent-ish games, maybe defensively, but still not enough. We all know that. I am a defender of him. Think we should give him time. But he hasn't done enough to warrant, that spot is his and that's it. Vieira, couple really good super sub appearances at the start, sort of tailored off since. I do feel bad for him. Hasn't really got a consistent run of games, but, got the opportunity in North London Derby. Thought he got really overrun, bullied off the pitch in that game for me. There's one time I'm pretty sure someone literally just picked him up and put him out. And so I think he's definitely going to have to strengthen up if he wants to play that attacking 8 more often. Smith Rowe's always injured. Trossard played well there in pre-season. Hasn't been given a chance. And I think it might be his turn. Imagine a midfield of Rice, Zinchenko and Odegaard. Zinchenko can also do that defensive work. I think a lot of times we underrate it. A lot of people call him trash or a bum defender. Yesterday, won 7 out of 8 of his duels. Was really good, winning tackles, driving that ball up the pitch. And I think if he was to do that in the centre mid position, it'd be even better. I think we'd get a lot more output off him if he's allowed to express himself up the pitch rather than that sort of deep lying playmaker role. And I think it could be a really new touch to our midfield. The only hesitation I have is it means our two left backs will probably have to play every game, or most games, him and Tomiyasu. And they're both quite injury ridden. So if you're playing both of them, it's very likely one, maybe even both, get injured. So I do understand if there's a little bit of hesitation, but I think the gamble is worth it. You know, we have other people that can play different positions. If Tomiyasu gets injured, Kivior can maybe step in, but I think Zinchenko in that midfield would really shake things up. I think we'd be able to create a lot more. You know, his end product, his ability to deliver a really good ball into the box is something that a lot of our other players can't do, and he's just so technically gifted. I think we should at least test it. You know, maybe if it's even an FA Cup game or a Champions League game we're already through, I want to see him there. I want to see what he can do. Does it for Ukraine. Not going to lie and say I watch Ukraine all the time. Tuned into a couple games against like England's and Italy's or whatever throughout the years. And he does look very good there. I want to see it. I'm just saying I want to see it. Not saying he's going to be the best, but just everything we see, what he can do, his ability on the ball. I think there's an opportunity within this team that we already have who can really claim that position. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think we should keep him on that inverted thing or test him out? You know, no one else is sort of making that claim. I think that could be him. Now, Nefeli, I cannot speak English. I cannot. I really need to call uni, get some refunds on these student loans, because I don't know, whatever they taught me, high school taught me, the words do not come out. But as long as you know what I mean, we're going to just keep going. We're going to keep going. All right, now, Saka, Martinelli. Definitely, that's how you say that word, definitely not going to slate them. They didn't have their best performance. You know, I think they were marked out of the game really well. And this is what a lot of, I think, Premier League clubs are going to do to our teams. They get an opportunity to watch these guys a lot more, go up against these guys a lot more, and they're going to put 2-3 players on them and swarm them so that they don't have any time to do anything, really. Every time Martinelli got the ball, either it was the CDM, centre back, someone coming to really close off that space so that the fullback can go closer to that touch line and not allow Martinelli to burn him. Now, you know, that's fine. Defenses can do that. We need to find a way to exploit that. You know, if they're going to put so many players on our wingers, we need to be able to be a little bit more dynamic, get a little bit more, you know, advanced runs from our midfield and, you know, play the openings. If there's 2 players there, it means there's some space somewhere and we're going to have to exploit that. So, you know, Kai Havertz, he's going to get a run of games now. I don't actually expect Zinchenko to go into the midfield, although that's definitely what I want. Vieira's out for 3 games. Smith Rowe's injured. So we know Kai Havertz is going to play a bunch of games now. We need him to step up. Odegaard, we need him back from injury. We need him to be the Odegaard of last season, you know, making things happen out of nothing and at least, you know, putting pressure on teams to give us different outlets. We don't need to be so one predictable, so one way where we're just giving it to our wingers and hoping they do something. We need our other players to get involved. Also Trossard, you know, don't know when Jesus is coming back. If he's going to be that striker, everyone's saying he's the closest to Jesus. So he's going to have to start creating more on his own. That's just the way it is because teams are going to be defending these 2 guys off the park. But you know, if what I said happens and our other players get more involved, teams won't be able to afford to do that. Won't be able to afford to do that. Why can I not talk? Why? I don't know. We're going to move. Because, you know, we're going to expose them otherwise. If they leave that many openings and the rest of our team is, you know, attacking, being aggressive, finding openings, we're going to really be able to exploit that tactic. So, you know, I'm calling on other people to be able to get involved. They're going to have to start picking up the slack. Moving on to the man, William Saliba. A lot of people, you know, talking about him and his world-class performance. For me, I think this was actually his worst performance of the season. Now, it's crazy because he still played well. He got a goal, a crucial goal as well. You know, I think if it wasn't so close to their goal and putting us up 2-1, it could have been a very sticky, tricky game. was perfect timing, 2-1, and then from there we were just able to build. But, I think he did sort of leave us a bit vulnerable yesterday. One back pass where he sort of just lobbed it to no one. They nearly got an opportunity. It was a good save from Raya. And a few times wasn't reading the game as well as he usually does. Had to rely on some really last-ditch tackles. Not slating him because he's been, maybe him and Rice, the players of the season so far. And, I think he's one off, if not the best centre-back in the Premier League. So there's no way slate. Just saying, I think a few people are gassing his performance yesterday a bit too much. Beautiful goal, did well, but I think he also made a few more mistakes than usual. And that's the bar he's set. The fact that he's had a couple poorish moments, his standard is so high that anytime he's not there, I think we just got to talk about it. Not saying slate him, want him out. I want him to sign a new contract, of course. We need him for as long as possible. But just thought it's worth a mention. Now, last up, Mr. Trossard. A lot of people talking about his performance as well. Getting another goal, good goal, was aggressive, attacked the ball, and that's what happens when you make something happen. When you try that extra mile, just, sometimes things can just fall in your path. I think he'd had a good game. I think a lot of people are gassing him up a bit too much again. I love Trossard. I'd personally pick him over Nketiah. But if Nketiah did that game, did the same performance, no one would be saying anything. We'd be saying it's against Burnley. We expect him to do that. So maybe just keep that same energy. Nketiah got a hat-trick against Sheffield United, still got slated. Trossard got 1 goal, 1 assist. Everyone's saying he's the best striker in the world. Just saying, let's be a bit more fair. Nketiah is not the best player. We all know we need an improvement, but I think Trossard didn't do anything yesterday that Nketiah wouldn't have. Maybe deliver that cross to Saliba, but besides that, I think Nketiah's link-up play has been improving over the years. He's still a young player as well, and I have seen improvements year on year. When he came, couldn't really do anything bar, tap in. And a lot of people might say it's still the same, but he is adding moves. He's able to spin defenders now, drop a shoulder. His link-up play is getting better. So I don't want to write him off too early. Still want a better striker. Not saying, want him to be our main guy, but I think, when he gets a chance, when he scores, I think he deserves the flowers. And that's all I'm going to say. Share the love sometimes, Might not be your favorite player, but if they play well, just praise them. Just praise them. That's going to pretty much recap my thoughts on yesterday's game. We do have that game coming up against Brentford after the international break. It's going to be a bit of a tough one. I'm so sick of these international breaks. I'm glad this is the last one for a while, and then we can get that rhythm going. Nice games week on week on week. But it's going to be a long 2 weeks. I'll try and make some new sort of content, just have some fun, more debate type content, just so we can get through this international break nice and quick. If you enjoyed the video, if you're still here, again, make sure to smash that like button, and I will see you in that next video. Peace.